Hi, this is Nathan Childers. This lesson is about proper mouthpiece assembly and adjustment. Let's start with this mouthpiece setup here. What we have is a pretty standard Meyer mouthpiece, and what I want you to look carefully for is this line here, which is a good marker for where to put your ligature, especially for students. If you don't have this line, take a look and you can see it's just past, maybe a quarter of an inch past the edge of your mouthpiece. It is a proper place to put your ligature. So let's assemble this. If you're a student, make sure you very carefully slide it on and make sure, of course, that you've got it on the correct way. It will only go correctly one way. So I'm going to find that point, adjust my reed, tighten, and there we have the mouthpiece assembled. So I mentioned standard ligature. Standard ligature looks like this. You've got the screws on top of the reed. There are other options I'll show you in a minute. But let's talk about how we adjust this mouthpiece correctly. First of all, when we tighten the screws, we want them to be snug but not over tight. If I were to keep turning there, it would be too tight and you run the risk of stripping these threads here. When it comes to reed adjustment, what you're looking for is a crescent shape whereby you see a bit of the mouthpiece behind the reed. If you see that, something along those lines, your mouthpiece is going to play well for you. Now, some professional players, even myself, will slide the reed down a slight bit, which creates less tension. Sometimes can ease up the articulation on the mouthpiece, or if the reed is feeling a little bit soft, you can slide it up, right up to the tip itself. In general, for students, I recommend just below the tip for your assembly of the mouthpiece. So moving on, let's talk about our other choices of ligatures. We have a standard ligature here, and these two we have as inverted ligatures. Look carefully on which ligature you have to see which one it is. This inverted ligature works in the same way, but it has, again, a switched setup where the screws are on top of the mouthpiece. It's all a bit of personal taste of what you like. This allows some great flexibility with vibration on the reed here, but so does this ligature. Again, it's pretty much personal taste. There are many styles of caps. You have plastic caps, you have metal caps. The key is not what they're made of, but if they're fitting properly and if they're fitting your ligature and mouthpiece correctly. Meaning that they're snug enough so that when your mouthpiece is in your case, it stays together, it stays assembled. You do not want things coming out loose, the cap coming off, or the reed falling out. So for example, we have this ligature and mouthpiece setup where we've got a pretty snug fit, and this is not going to come off. Rico's new ligature comes with a plastic cap that fits snugly, made just for that ligature. So just make sure that your ligature and mouthpiece are fitting snugly and your cap is the correct cap for your mouthpiece setup.